Well, hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Crystalline. Now you might notice we've got two different saves here. That's because there were some issues. We'll just say that. So, as I grab a few items off my bed, I look over at Zach, who is fiddling with his gun. That guy sure gives his discharger a lot of attention, if you know what I mean. Morning! He glances up and nods.
I'm heading down. Meet me there when you're ready.
Sure thing, pal. Zach shoulders his pack and leaves. This is probably the quietest morning I've had so far. It's a little strange. I pack up the last of my things and follow Zach downstairs where I find him waiting alone. Where are Leanna and Amelia? He shrugs.
Still getting ready, I guess.
Okay. That's unusual. Leanna's generally the first one up. We wait a couple more minutes before the girls finally show up, carrying the Pongo with them. Amelia smiles widely at the Pongo, who grins back. Those two seem to be in a good mood. Leanna, on the other hand, looks exhausted? Alright. Good morning. Leanna smiles.
Morning.
The Pongo wobbles in Amelia's arms as she nods her greeting. And then we freeze.
We should move on so
there
we
we
don't
go.
lose any daylight.
Yes. Zach looks over at Amelia, who rummages through her bag. Eventually, she pulls out a map. I glance at the carefully detailed mountains and rivers. Suddenly, I'm missing my GPS.
We will proceed eastward through the forest adjacent to Bazada. From there, we will travel northbound towards the Sonoa Mountains.
Her finger scrolls across the different locations.
Assuming there are no divergences in the course, we should arrive in Ember Mist by midday. Any inquiries?
Amelia folds the map and glances at the rest of us. We all look at each other.
Then let us begin our journey.
She leads the way out of the inn and through the streets of Bazada. Even this early in the morning, the marketplace is still bustling with people. Carefully traversing the streets and alleys, the crowd begins to thin as we reach the city borders. Amelia consults her map, then continues out of the city. Without the high cover of the stalls, I blink at the clear blue sky. In the distance, I can see the dark leafy cover of trees. That must be where we're going. Once we reach the forest, I'm surprised by how much shade the leaves provide. The branches are strong and the leaves are thick, exposing pockets of sunshine. Amelia keeps the map on hand as there are no trails. Aside from a few other stragglers exploring the woods, I can hear the scurry of woodland animals. With so much cover and so few people, this would be the perfect opportunity for a bandit ambush. I look towards Zach and Leanna, who both seem unconcerned. I suppose it wouldn't make sense for bandits to hide out in a forest which is mostly devoid of people. We aren't carrying any cargo either, so there's even less of a reason to attack us. The deeper we travel into the woods, the thicker the canopy of leaves become, nearly blocking out all the sunlight. All the other people have long gone, and even the rustle of bushes have become quiet. The Pongo nestles even deeper into Amelia's arms. Leanna shivers and wraps her arms around herself in a hug. Let's check on her. You okay? She seems startled and drops her arms, trying to act normal.
I'm fine.
Oh. I know exactly what I'm fine means in Earth English, if you say so. Alright, just checking. She smiles. The forest continues to block out even more light. Soon it becomes so dark we can barely see what's in front of us.
Are you sure we're going the right way?
Amelia pulls a torch out of her bag in response. She touches her fingers to the tip of the torch and her bracelet glows. Then the torch erupts into flames.
Indeed, there is no need for alarm. The darkness merely indicates we're about to enter the Forest of Sorrows.
This is a much different background than we had a minute ago.
Forest of Sorrows?
I'm surprised by Leanna's outburst. Her face is deathly pale.
Do we have to go through here? There must be an alternate route.
Amelia shakes her head.
Ember Mist can only be accessed through these woods.
Leanna groans.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
What's up with the Forest of Sorrows? I mean, it sounds spooky enough, but is it really that bad?
It is rumored that those who venture into the Forest of Sorrows never come out.
Well, then how has anyone ever heard of it, right? They never come out. She nods.
The reason people are unable to escape is because they hear the voices of the loved ones they have lost. They fruitlessly search for their loved ones, losing their way, chasing the wailing of the spectrals.
No! Amelia, stop! We can travel through this stupid place if we have to, but no more of this story stuff that isn't true and can't be true, so it's not true.
Although Leanna tries to put on a brave front, her voice grows shriller the longer she talks. Right. Amelia nods.
And let us continue.
I turn to Zach. Do you think all that stuff about the Forest of Sorrows is possible?
It doesn't matter if I think it's possible, because it's the truth.
Zach! Stop!
As Leanna turns away, Zach cracks a fleeting smile before resuming his stony stare. The trees have now lost their cozy feel completely and look thick, old, and withered, and most of them look long dead, as it turns out. The eerie silence is deafening, and each crunch of leaves beneath our feet reminds me of the inevitability of death and decay. I keep seeing flashes of beady eyes peering amid the branches. The squawk of crows pierces the silence, making me jump. Instinctively, I pick up the pace, as does everyone else. Leanna grows increasingly agitated.
Are you sure we're going the right way? I swear that I've seen that.
A cold gust of wind extinguishes the torch. Oh, hello. Leanna latches onto my arm and pulls it close to her chest. Her eyes are squeezed shut and she buries her face against me. The light returns as Amelia relights the torch. Leanna peeps an eye open and glances down at my arm. And where it rests on her chest. Heyo! Her cheeks burn as hot as the torch and she quickly drops my arm.
Sorry,
She trails off as her blush deepens. I bet her nerves from the forest and the awkwardness of grabbing me is making her flustered. She might be more comfortable holding on to me, but that's an equally awkward suggestion. Let's just pull her in close. I close the distance between us and link arms with her again. Although surprised, she doesn't stop me. Instead, she blushes again. Amelia watches us and cocks her head to the side.
Are you afraid?
Wow, Amelia. Huh?
You are mimicking Leanna's instinctive reach for your arm. Does that mean you too are feeling afraid?
It's okay and normal to feel uneasy at times. There's nothing wrong with that, especially in a place like this. Amelia nods.
Your rationale is valid.
Thanks, Amelia. Leanna squeezes my arm a little tighter and smiles. Aww.
thanks.
Anytime. I nod with a warm smile. Anytime. Oh, see? Yes? Zach waits impatiently a few paces ahead of us.
Can we move on?
Affirmative.
We all hurry to catch up with Zach and continue through the forest. No wonder people get lost. This place feels like it's endless. Leanna tightens her grip on my arm whenever there's a noise. A crow flies by and she hides her face in my shoulder. I can feel the warmth rush to my cheeks and I am grateful for the darkness. This is so out of character for Leanna. I never would have guessed that she gets spooked by ghosts. Gradually, the darkness fades away as the trees are illuminated by an ethereal glow. As the blue and green light chases away the shadows, my mood begins to lift. The trees still look ancient, but full of wisdom and secrets instead of bad omens. What are they, ants? Come on now. The pongo squirms wildly in Amelia's arms. He wriggles free and hops around in glee. As he hops, he opens his mouth wide, but loses his balance and blinks as he falls on his head. After a few more confused seconds, he shakes himself and tries again. There must be a lot of magic in here.
We have made it through the Forest of Sorrows.
Leanna sighs in relief.
Finally.
She blushes as she lets go of me.
So Ember Mist is close.
The natural concentration of crystal energy would indicate we are on the correct path.
Ah, the crystals must be what the blue and green glow is from.
What do you mean, on the correct path? Haven't you traveled here before?
Amelia shakes her head.
No, this is my first journey.
You mean you had us travel through the Forest of Sorrows without knowing for sure that it would lead us to Ember Mist?
That is correct.
Leanna gapes at Amelia.
Well, we did make it through. And if we do reach Ember Mist, then she would have delivered on her promise.
See? Zack nods at Amelia, who looks curiously at him. While deep in thought, it looks like she's reworking a previous analysis of him. Then she nods back. Leanna opens her mouth to argue, but stops.
I suppose it doesn't matter now that we're almost there.
On that conclusion, let us continue.
See? It's all good. We trail behind Amelia, the Pongo blissfully hopping along as she navigates us out of the rest of the forest. Ember Mist lies just beyond the edge of the forest, and soon we approach the heavy gates of the city. Aww, with a volcano in the background. That's fine though. Two tanned men with leather armor and carved wooden staves inlaid with rough crystals stand guard. Their staves are crossed, and the light seems to shimmer as it catches the negative space between the staves. Is that some kind of magic?
Please state your business.
As students from the Mage Academy, we seek an audience with Elder Isim.
They look us over and I shift uncomfortably under their gaze. Their blank eyes seem to burrow deep into my soul. They close their eyes and the red crystals inlaid in their staves glow. The translucent glimmers increase. After a few minutes, they reopen their eyes and remain silent. I glance at Leanna, who looks back at me. I whisper, "Are they going to let us in?" She shakes her head uncertainly. Zack crosses his arms, but otherwise doesn't seem bothered by the situation. Amelia stands confidently and waits patiently. I guess things are going according to her plan? Just when I can no longer bear the silence, a figure steps out from behind the gates. He's an old, squirrely man with a set of glasses which slip down his hooked nose. He wears a faded and wrinkled open robe. Oh no.
Elder Isim,
Yes? Who is it?
I am Amelia Estelle from the Mage Academy, and these are my associates.
The Mage Academy, you say?
He adjusts the glasses on his nose and peers at Amelia.
Yes.
One by one, he peers at the rest of us. He barely glances at Zack, but looks at Leanna with interest when he recognizes her guild emblem. Finally, his gaze lingers on me, almost as if he's trying to place me but can't.
Well, come on in then. No point in standing around.
The guards break away as he beckons us in, and the translucent shimmers disappear. After we pass through the gates, I look back right before the gates close and see the guards resume their original position. Elder Isim shuffles along the dirt path and leads us through the quaint village. The villagers tend to wear plain, loose-fitting tunics. Aside from the guards, most people don't carry weapons, although many of them do wear simple bracelets embedded with crystals. We soon arrive at a strangely architecturally stabled clay hut. As we enter, I covertly touch the walls. It reminds me of unglazed ceramic tiles. We settle down on wide cushions on the floor.
How were you able to find this place?
Through you.
Eh?
Amelia pulls out a warm tomb. Where has she been keeping that this whole time?
My old research. I thought I'd lost this.
As Elder Isim carefully turns the pages of the tomb, Leanna clears her throat.
We were told you can help us.
By whom?
Professor Xavier.
Elder Isim lets out a loud laugh.
Xavier is a professor now. Good for him. I've been out of touch with Haven Guard and Lumia for many years. I'm not sure how I can help.
Leanna fills him in on all that's happened so far, beginning with the spiked energy readings and ending with Professor Xavier's advice. She keeps the story simple and straight to the point. carefully eliminating the fact that I am not from this world. Elder Isom listens thoughtfully, but grows more excited the longer Leanna talks.
The temporal rifts. It's been so long since I really researched them. I'm afraid I've been rather distracted. Still, someone is here hoping to discuss these theories, and I'm more than happy to talk about them.
He claps his hands excitedly.
Where should we start?
As I'm about to answer, a deep rumble beneath the earth stops me. What was that?
Oh, just the volcano. Nothing to worry about.
Of course, of course. That's what they said about Pompeii! Rip us. Okay. Elder Isom's demeanor remains relaxed. If something bad were to happen, he wouldn't be acting this way, right? I exchange glances with the rest of my group. Leanna looks perturbed while Amelia and Zack both stay on alert. At least I'm not the only one who's uneasy.
There's no need to look so concerned. The volcano will not erupt. This is the first sign of activity it has shown in thousands of years.
Dude! 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 Isn't that concerning?
Perhaps if it were any other volcano, but this particular volcano is in the domain of the fire elemental who protects us all.
Oh, of course.
This fire elemental of which you speak, are you referencing the ancients?
Precisely.
Ah, yes. Zack crosses his arms.
The ancients are only a story.
Who are the ancients?
They are the elements of Asaria. The magic which we have learned to manipulate are the gifts left behind from the ancients.
Oh.
That's how the legend goes.
You are mistaken. They are not a legend.
Leanna looks uncertain while Zack scowls.
You still believe in those stories?
I believe in the research, and Elder Isom has accumulated plenty of it.
Isn't it Isom? What happened there?
Then where have the elementals been all this time?
We all return our focus to the Elder.
I suppose I do have a few theories on that as well. But the elements are a lot trickier than temporal rifts. The story of the ancients is so old it predates our understanding of crystals and spheres. That's why most societies have forgotten about them and brushed them off as a legend. The people in this village, though, have not forgotten. When I arrived, I was purely focused on finding the fire temple for research purposes. But the longer I stayed, the more my focus strayed from the temporal rifts to the ancients themselves. If you believe that the cause of those random energy spikes are the result of temporal rifts, perhaps that is the link to the return of the elementals to Asaria.
So what does that mean exactly? He shakes his head.
It's hard to say. We don't know why they left in the first place. My guess is that something was keeping them occupied in the spirit world. Perhaps whatever that is was set free by the rifts.
Amelia hangs on to Elder Isom's every word. Leanna absent-mindedly fiddles with her manipulator deep in thought. Only Zack seems skeptical of this conversation. This sounds really complicated and not something that can be solved in a few hours. We need to get back on track. How do I get home? To get back to the original topic on hand, Elder Isom nods.
The temporal rifts, yes.
How would one go about creating a rift?
Well, that will be difficult. You'll need an incredible amount of energy. More than any one human can create. The only places with that much concentration of energy is in the temples of the elementals.
You said that there was one in the village.
Yes, the fire temple is here in Ember Mist.
Great! My body grows warm as hope floods through my veins. This is good, I finally have a way
To be
home.
more precise, it's on the outskirts of the village, built on the side of the volcano, but it's not a far walk.
Uh-huh.
Then that's where we need to go.
Yeah. Leanna pushes herself to her feet and the rest of us do the same. As Elder Isom rises, his face falls.
Leaving so soon? I was hoping we'd have a longer chance to chat. I have so many questions about Illumia and the Academy. As you can imagine, one does not get a lot of news of the outside world here.
Aww. Perhaps upon our return?
Yes, of course. Well, you best be on your way then.
Yes.
Elder Isom, it was truly an honor to meet you.
So did we all just, kind of agree that Isom was a crap name and we're now just calling him Isom? Is that what's going on here? Amelia's cheeks flush as Elder Issim grins. She must really respect him. In that moment, I realize just how small and dainty she looks. I sometimes forget how young she is compared to the rest of us. We all say our good... I'm only in my early 20s in this, I'm assuming. Like, I'm still at university, so I'm not really that much older than her. Like, we all say our goodbyes and then exit the hut. Once outside, we scan the horizon, trying to orient ourselves towards the volcano.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello. I whirl around and come face to face with a woman wearing just enough fabric to cover her essentials and nothing more. Jeez, dude. Her long brown hair is tied up in a ponytail, which falls down her neck and frames her very ample chest. Okay, we can tell it wasn't a woman that wrote this game. Don't look at her boobs. Who are you? Before I have a chance to speak, Zack asks the question on everyone's mind.
Who are you?
Zack steps in front of Amelia, who frowns and steps away. I guess he's taking this bodyguarding business really seriously. Leanna holds herself stiffly, ready to move if necessary. The woman salutes.
Car Noir, treasure hunter extraordinaire.
Zack narrows his eyes.
What do you want with us?
Well, I couldn't help but overhear that you're interested in the fire temple.
How did you hear us when we were inside?
She's a damn snoop. She taps her nose knowingly.
I have very sensitive hearing.
Uh-huh. She an elf or something? If you brush away that hair, is she gonna have giant pointy ears? Huh?
I fail to understand how our interests are of relevance to you.
I was just getting to that.
Uh-huh.
You see, I've come to offer an extension of friendship.
Oh, how good. Both Leanna and Zack raise an eyebrow.
Or at least an extension of mutual benefit.
Huh, ha ha ha. Okay.
It's true that the villagers maintain the fire temple, but from what I've discovered, they are unaware of the temple's secret passage.
Ooh.
If you're interested in the energy of the temple, I can guarantee that's where you'll find it.
If the villagers don't know about the secret passage, how did you find it?
It's all a part of the treasure hunting gig. You have to be looking for it to find it.
Huh. Kara winks and gives us a thumbs up.
The best part is that I've already disarmed or made a note of most of the traps in there.
There are traps in this temple?
The temples are a sanctuary for the elementals, but any place that is easily accessible is sure to attract all types. There are measures set in place to protect the spirit from those who wish to harm it.
Like I said, I've disarmed most of the traps, but not all. There is one magical barrier at the end of the tunnel which I've not yet been able to pass. I don't have magic, but you do.
She gestures to Leanna and Amelia.
If you can magic that barrier away, then that's at least one step closer to finding your energy.
Zack crosses his arms and glares at Kara.
How does that benefit you?
She grins.
All I'm interested in are the artifacts and relics. From the sounds of it, you guys are more interested in something else, hence mutually beneficial. So what do you think?
I look at the rest of my group. Wordlessly, we huddle closer together and whisper. We can't exactly whisper wordlessly, though. That's very, that's a confused sentence right here. Well, there's plenty of reasons for her to join. I vote we let her join us.
If she's already marked the passageway and traps, then we can just follow her markings and break the barrier ourselves. I can't think of a reason why we would need to bring her along.
I can think of two. Jesus, dude. I sneak another glance at Kara's chest and smirk.
I must concede that I am impressed by her resourcefulness. It is plainly evident that she is not a native to Embermist, which means she somehow discerned the location on her own.
Discerned. That's a really good point. Leanna looks thoughtful.
As a treasure hunter, her tracking skills could come in handy in the future.
We all stare at Zack. He shrugs.
Do what you want.
That sounds like a yes to me. Zack doesn't respond. He just fixes his steely gaze on me.
So does this mean we're agreed to join up with Kara?
We all nod.
Hi.
The Pongo sits in the middle of our circle and blinks happily. Where do you even go when you're in hiding?
Boy. Let's go tell Kara.
We turn around and Kara stands right behind Leanna, her face only inches away. Leanna lets out a startled gasp. Geez, what is she, some kind of ninja? Kara rubs her hands excitedly.
All right, this will be fun.
Aww.
Wait, we didn't give you our answer yet.
Oh, sorry.
She steps back and gestures for Leanna to continue. Leanna speaks awkwardly. I guess she feels a little silly saying what Kara somehow already knows.
Well, we decided to take you up on your offer.
Kara nods.
Excellent. Since we're going to be working together, first things first. You all know my name, but I don't know yours.
I'm Leanna.
Mage Knight from the Guild?
She nods.
I am Amelia Estelle. I'm mage caster from the Mage Academy.
Kara blinks.
A student to become a mage caster? But you look just like a teenager.
Amelia cocks her head to the side.
It is natural that my physical appearance would represent my age.
She looks at Amelia with respect.
That is pretty impressive. Who's next?
She looks at Zack.
Zach.
She chuckles.
Very clearly a mercenary.
And I'm Fugle. Her green eyes study me, and although she's very clearly examining me, I don't feel uncomfortable under her stare.
Now that that's out of the way,
Boy.
Oh. Kara steps back and views the pongo by my
you have a
feet.
pongo! How cute!
Aww. She reaches down and pats him on the head. He beams at her touch.
And what's your name?
She glances at the rest of us, but none of us make a move to answer.
Oh, is he not a part of your group?
He is. Sort of.
And you haven't named him yet?
Leanna and I shuffle uncomfortably. Zack remains unchanged while Amelia frowns.
A pongo is a wild creature.
Kara straightens and pats Amelia on the head, much to her dismay.
If you say so. Okay, are we ready to get going?
We murmur our assent, and then Kara leads us out of the city. As we walk, another ominous rumble sends butterflies to my stomach. I can't shake off the feeling that we are literally walking into a fire. I glance at the others who seem unfazed. I guess it's just me. Pushing my insecurities down, I silently follow the group towards the temple. Just as Elder Issim noted, the temple is a short walk out of the village on a well-worn dirt path. The road is mostly empty with only one or two travelers coming back towards the village. The temple is an open structure with a roaring fire in the middle of a grand hall. High columns with flames carved into them hold up the building. Adorning the stone walls are beautiful tiled mosaics. Okay guys, you know what? I am going to end the video here. We made it to Embermist, we made it through the Forest of Sorrows, and we gained a new, well-bosomed character on the team. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out, guys.